Oh, hi. This is Mudbum from twitch.tv/Mudbum, and you're watching Disney Channel.
Sorry about that, guys. Hi, this is Mudbum from twitch.tv/Mudbum, and you're listening to the Escape Pod cast. This show was recorded in front of a live Twitch audience. And remember, as Abraham Lincoln once said, if you're not clenching your cheeks, you're going to have a sore back for weeks. Take it away, boys.
One is a Grand Arena specialist from the UK. The other is a territory battle tactician from the US. Together, there are no signs of intelligent life on board. With both having played this game since launch, the one thing we are sure of is that you will be entertained. The Escape Pod Cast, a service of the Escape Pod Castaways. A weekly podcast about the mobile game Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Live from the network studios of Yavin 4, here are your hosts, Neil Andrew Eyre and Paul Anthony.
Coming up on this week's edition of the Escape Pod Cast.
Moff Gideon is finally farmable!
And I love where he's at, Neil.
Oh yes, the Cantina nodes, and a cheap one too!
But now my relics and crystal stash are taking a hit, of course.
That just sounds like non-free-to-play problems to me, Paul.
Well, enjoy getting him 6 months later, Neil.
The Crancor Phase 1 can finally be soloed.
And CG's looking into that, Neil.
Yeah, but, I mean, is it really a problem?
We'll take a look at both sides of the issue and explain why it is.
And it isn't.
In our second segment,
our guest this week is Calvin Awesome.
This content creator was picked up for GA Center Season 2, and honestly, we couldn't be happier.
If you haven't yet heard of him, you will want to follow his antics after the interview for sure.
On the bridge, we will answer any of the Patreon's choice questions.
And once again, touch on the February fundraiser.
As of the start of this show, we are already 10% of the way there this month. But we are about 45% of the way through the month as well.
In an effort to give you respite from the internet craziness, we will not be discussing or talking about Cara Dune.
In fear of invoking Godwin's Law. I just learned about what that was today.
All this and breaking news as and if it happens.
Right here on the Escape Pod Cast.
The Escape Pod Cast News.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. It's your lovable, friendly English host, The Nev. Welcome to another episode of the Escape Pod Cast. I am your host, The Nev, and as always, I'm joined by my hetero life partner, Paul. Paul, how are you today?
I'm doing well, Neil, and I'm going to get this out of the way really quick. Yes, I'm wearing a mask. Yes, I had an unfortunate dental injury that, I'm embarrassed about. I will not be showing my mouth until that's fixed. That's all I'm going to say about it. Let's move on. That was for our Twitch audience. All right. So, Neil.
Yeah.
Once again, no talk about any casting or uncasting decisions on this show today.
Yes.
So, you are safe if you are tuning in and just wanting to hear about Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Here we are.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have... we're going to get into the whole Crancor solo. We're going to get into that in the second segment. But the big story this week, honestly, is that Moff Gideon is farmable on a Cantina node. Mm-hmm. And not just any Cantina node, Neil.
No, 10. It's only a 10 energy. It's a cheap... I mean, yes, it could have been cheaper. I mean, I think everybody would have been like even more overjoyed if they put it on an 8 energy Cantina node. I mean, that would have just been awesome. But the mere fact that it's on a 10 is just awesome. A 10! It's on a 10! You know? 140! 144. When you log in and you've got 144, you're going to be able to use 14 sim tickets straight away. So it's really not going to take that long to farm this character at all. And all I was doing was farming for relics, and I was just, farming and hoarding relic materials. So, across all 4 of my accounts, I am farming for Moff Gideon.
For me, I've already got him at 5-star. I've got him sitting there at 5-star, and I know that's not looking that good on the Twitch stream, but 5-star, and he's 24 of 85 already.
Yeah, no, the only the only account where I have to start from scratch is my main alt. I completely forgot to do the I completely forgot to do the marquee event on my main alt. So yeah, having to get him from scratch there. It's a bit like on my baby alt, I completely forgot to do the Poe Dameron marquee event, so I have to do Poe. So I've got to farm Dora the Explorer from scratch when I do start farming him on that account, and I've recently started farming him because I want Dora the Explorer and Go Diego Go for the start of 5v5 to go with JTR. So yes, but yeah, really happy.
Okay.
Geek Girl blocked to the score with 500 biddies.
Oh,
Mwah.
I didn't change it back.
It doesn't matter. It's still good. It's all good. So yeah, I mean, come on. Here's the thing, guys. Especially with regarding marquee characters recently. Thank you for the 100 biddies, Fimar. We are constantly hammering CG when they do something bad or when they do something wrong. If they are, incompetent and negligent with something in the game. But when they do something right and when they do something good, we need to give them the credit for it. It's like, hey, CG, you've done something great here. We're letting you know. We're not just here to, beat you over the head with a mallet all the time. When you do something good, we're going to let everybody know we think that this is good. And when they've taken characters that we've been given on marquee and they put them on nodes for farming, every single character going all the way back to when they first brought out Mando have been brilliant. Everything's been put on really great. I mean, look at the last couple of characters, right? Look at Piet. Piet got put on all right, it was 16, which isn't great, but he got put on with Poe. It was a double node, so that created a double node. And what about the last 2 that we got? IG-11 was on a 12. And
the whole Poe thing, though, Neil, was I just finished Poe.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. He still got put on a double node, and most free-to-play people didn't do it. So IG-11, great. A 12 energy node. So it's only costing you 60 to get a full 5. And then Queel got put on a 16. But Queel got put on with the TIE Bomber. So you're farming Queel and you're getting the TIE Bomber as well. 2 really good nodes there. Kara got put on a 16. Grieve Karga. I mean, not only did he get 2, but the fleet node one that he got put on, it was with the Y-wing. It got put on the Y-wing node, and then the Mandalorian one was 20, but it got put on a node with a couple of decent pieces of gear. So it might not necessarily have been a double, but then they're like, you know what? We're being a bit stingy here. Let's give Mando. So they gave Mando another node. And the node that they gave him was 12. So when it comes to CG's placement of all of the most recent marquee characters, they have been doing a really, really good job. And for the first time, one of the marquee characters has been put in the cantina, but it's only 10. It's only 10. And I mean, who remembers? I still remember when the Viagra twins got put on 16s and everybody was like, yeah, but they're crap. They're absolutely crap. And you're making it expensive for me to farm them. So, everybody is going to have a Moff Gideon easily within the next couple of months.
Not that bad, though.
I personally think that I will have Moff Gideon easily within the next month, 2 months.
Right, but Vet Han is not that bad whatsoever.
Oh no, they got a rework. They got the Resistance rework, so they're not that bad now. But before when they were 16, they were crap. When they got moved to 12, it's like you're still crap, but you're cheaper crap. And then they got a rework, and it's like, okay, that's all right. Geek Girl wants a hype train, so anybody want to help her out with that?
They got 1 minute, literally 1 minute, before Geek Girl's 500 bits would fall off from the hype train.
Yeah, no, I really don't expect it to take that long to farm Gideon. I mean, if you're able to, I mean, if you're getting 20, if you're getting 20 to 25, if you're getting 20 to 25 sims a day, because you've got your bonus energy as well, plus your want. There we go. JJ Manners coming in. So when you've got the when you've got the 144, plus you've got your plus you've got a refresh, plus you've got the bonus energy that you get during the day, you're going to get at least 20 to 25 sims of Gideon per day. Now, even if you're only getting a 30% drop rate, that's still high singles. Plasma coming in with the subs as well.
It was JJ giving Plasma.
Oh, JJ giving Plasma the sub.
And Fi also as well.
And we're on level 2. Excellent. Oh, Fi Mark coming in with some more biddies. But yeah, I just think that Moff Gideon is a really good character. So you can gear him up. You're going to need to gear him up quite quickly because it's not going to take that long to get him to 7 stars. It really, really isn't going to take that long to get him to 7 stars. Most people should have them. I mean, I'm hoping to have my Moff Gideon by the start of not next month's GAC, but I would very much like to have a 7-star Moff Gideon for the month after because
are you putting any crystal refreshes into this?
Oh, just the standard one crystal. I'll just do 1 crystal refresh.
Okay. So I'm doing 3 because
I do one. You know what? I do 1 anyway. I just do 1 crystal refresh anyway. So
yeah, but it's 100 crystals. Thank you for the shiny nickel, JJ. See, I got to turn on the shiny nickels again.
Turn on the shiny nickel. Hype train.
But it's 100 to refresh Cantina when it's only 50 to refresh regular energy.
Yeah, but I'm farming stuff, so I'm trying to get not so much. I don't really care about anything on 3 of my accounts, but I am trying to get the Ebon Hawk on my main alt so that I can go for the Radis. And the Ebon Hawk, I've only got them at 5 stars on my main alt, and obviously, everything else is ready to go. So yeah, kind of need to work on that. Kind of need to work on that one. So I might hold off on that one account until I've got my my Ebon Hawk because it's at 4.4. I really want to have him ready to rock and roll for when I hit Div 1. So it'd be really nice to have him. So you know what? I'll probably say I've got 6 fleet anyway. So why do I need the Radis? Pfft, screw the Radis. Radis can wait an extra month.
Well,
everybody's
to
doing
be
shiny
honest
nickels.
with you, as far as the Radis can wait, but if you were waiting on the finalizer,
I've got the finalizer. I've got the finalizer on my main alt. I've got the finalizer.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm 20 shards away from completing the Millennium Falcon, the MILF required for Radis. So that was that one wasn't going to take that long, but yeah, like I said, the Ebon Hawk is at 5 stars, so it's going to take a while because you need your Ebon Hawk at 7 stars. All of the other ships, with the exception of the Millennium Falcon that Ray and Finn fly, I think that's at 81 of 100. So yeah, that one's not that far off at all.
So I worry though. I mean, we've had all of these great placements, as we've noted. I'm worried where the armor is going to end up. By the way, 1 minute remaining in the level 2 hype train if anybody wants to push that forward through the break.
I mean, it'd be nice. Yeah, I think the armor is going to get put on a great note as well.
Okay, speaking of the armor, there is the pack that's in the store. If you are somebody who is okay with purchasing stuff, inside the store, let me pull it up here, is the Legacy of Mandalore Special Faction Pack. It has Gar Saxon, ISC, Sabine Wren, Original Mando, Canderous, and Django. So you're paying $12.50. And I always and remember, this is what I say when it comes to purchasing packs. If you purchase a pack, you should always resign yourself that you are getting the minimum number of shards. Anything you get above it is a bonus. We completed the hype train at level 1. Thank you very much, guys. We appreciate that.
Thanks a lot, guys.
All right. So you get the armor guaranteed 10 shards. If you're still new and you haven't farmed the others, the thing is that you also get 2 other cards that come with 10 to 330 shards of the other 6 Mandalorians. So you get armor guaranteed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see. Thing is, that they will. I do think that over the next couple of months, I do think that we will see Bo-Katan. I genuinely thought that we would get her as a marquee. I really, really did think that we would get her as a marquee. But what I think's probably going to happen now is it'll be the two sidekicks that she had from the show. The female and the male Mandalorian. I think we'll get those 2 as marquees. And then obviously we've got the armorer. I think that they'll make the most recent 3 and Mando. I think that they'll just make it like a Mando event. I think they'll say you need 5 Mandalorians in order to
they've been already doing that for Galactic Challenges.
Yeah. And I just think that that's what they'll do. But just like the Chewie event, we know that the Chewie event was much, much harder with original bounty hunters. But if you had Bosk and if you had Jango Fett, it was like so easy. So much easier to do that event. That's what I think it's going to be. That's what I think is going to happen with that's what I think the Bo-Katan legendary event would be like. I think it'll be you'll be able to do it with OG Mandalorians that they've just given the Mandalorian tag to, but they're going to make it, but it'll be easier to do it with the newer ones. So like you'll be able to do it with Gar and with Sabine and with the Imperial Super Trooper.
Okay.
I just think that you would have to have them so high geared and so perfectly modded, just like you had to for the Chewie event, that you may as well just wait until you farmed Bosk and Jango, and then you can go in with those guys at gear 11 and just smack. Because that's what I did. You know, it's so much easier to do the Chewie event with Bosk and with Jango, and obviously Boba and Boba, Cad, and I'm trying to remember who. I think I did it with Boba, Cad, and Dengar. So but Dengar, I think I didn't even bother taking them beyond Gear 9. So, but yeah,
Curtis Blow is poking fun that you call it Boca Raton, essentially.
But yeah, I see her coming to the game as a legendary after a couple more Mandalorian marquees come in. And like I said, I do genuinely think that they'll make it open, so you only need 5 Mandalorian tagged characters in order to do it, but it's gonna be so much easier doing it with the newer ones, which is going to make people want to farm those newer ones, than wasting a boatload of gear on characters that they might not necessarily use. Not that Gar Saxon is bad with his cohort, because they've got a ship. So, gearing them and maxing them does actually make the ship more useful. And it is a very good Imperial ship. Obviously, maxing Sabine is good for the Phantom. So, that's not too much of an issue there.
And she's a good plug-in. And she's a good plug-and-play rebel with armor shred.
And Canderous, most people kind of automatically max out Canderous because you need him in order to go for Malik and to go for Revan. So that's why I think that they're going to make it much harder to do it. I think that they'll put I don't think that they'll deliberately make it so that you need to relic them. I just think that they're going to make it extra hard, so that if you want to do it with those older characters, they do need to be much tougher. Because easiest argument to that would be, we all know that you can do C-3PO with Chief Chirper at gear 10, and as long as you've got like Wicket and Logray and Papaloo and the Ewok Elder, it's so easy to do. It's much easier to get your 7-star C-3PO with lower gear Ewoks. Try doing it with the original 5 with Tebow in the lead at gear 12. I mean, I know somebody that's trying to do it with gear 13 Ewoks, the original 5 Ewoks at gear 13, and they cannot do it. They just can't do it because the mechanics just aren't there in the original characters to complete the event. And everybody's
you need to stealth the Elder.
And, everybody was telling this poor guy on this Facebook chat, dude, you're just going to have to bite the bullet, get Chief Chirper, and get Wicket, or go for low grade, so yeah. So that's what I think will happen with the new, with the extra Mandos coming out. I think it'll be easier to do it with Mando, and, whether it's
speculation.
Mando, speculation. Obviously, Mando, Bam, and then the new ones. I think the mechanics will be there for you to be able to complete it at much lower gear level than Canderous, Sabine, Gar Saxon, and the Imperial Super Trooper. In my humble opinion.
And to quote Jeffrey Lebowski, well, that's like your opinion, man.
That's like your opinion, man.
So I'm thinking that it's gonna be something more. I don't know. I'm thinking that it should be something dark side related, but really there's nobody else on the entire during the show. Moff Gideon was the big baddie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And we're talking.
So that's why I'm so surprised that they put him out as a marquee.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I still think that they might throw, they might give us a couple. Maybe they will give us a couple more. Maybe they will throw us a couple of more dark side characters from the Mandalorian. They might throw us the dark. They might throw us a dark trooper. They might throw us another Imperial officer. They might throw us a scout trooper. They might throw us a couple more. I just think that it's more likely that we get Bo-Katan and her 2 minion Mandalorians, that the female one and the male. I think that that's more likely because of the whole emphasis that they're putting on Mandalorians right now. They've created a Mandalorian tag with not a massive amount of Mandalorians in the game, so it's like here come another 3 Mandalorians, you know? And people will be able to make 2 Mandalorian factions. You know,
Well,
I mean, wouldn't it be nice to be able to take, you know, take Canderous and put him with, you know, people that will give him a little bit more. Just give him a little bit more, you know. And Sabine, you know, pull Sabine out. Pull Sabine out of the Phoenix. I mean, something like that would work. Make her.
Well,
more
yes.
useful.
I mean, pulling Sabine out of the Phoenix is a great idea because, as I said, she's a great plug and play rebel character because of her armor shred and the bombs.
Mm-hmm.
Dickie Darkside says what about the Night Sister that Ahsoka fought, Morgan Elsbeth? I don't think she was there long enough to really be.
Can't see anything. You know, can't see anything like that happening. I just think that, you know, that they're just. I think they're going to round off. I think they'll round off with a couple more. Characters from the Mandalorian, and then whatever they've got planned for the second and third quarters of 2021.
So, yeah.
That's going to kick in. So I just think they're going to polish off quarter 1 of this year with a couple more Mandalorian characters, and then, you know, the remaining 3 quarters of the year, give us something new.
Okay, looking at it here, so we already have 8 Mandalorian characters in the game.
Mm-hmm.
If you include Beskar Mando, plus the 7 that you could get from that pack. Minato says that Mando tunes are done until next season. Quite possibly. Probably. But we do have the Book of Boba coming out. We'll see what happens there. We still have Fennec Shand.
Yeah. I mean,
there we go.
Some more scoundrels. There's another one, Fennec Shan. You know, getting her. I think getting her and having. You see, here's the thing. You know, we get her as a marquee, and I can definitely see them reworking Boba so that there's a synergy between those two, just like they did between Anakin and Ahsoka. You know, they reworked Anakin and Ahsoka's kits, so that there was a synergy between the two of them. If they brought in Fennec Shan, I think that they would rework Boba so that there was, some kind of like passive, there was one of the passive specials, or, you know, just anything between the two, so that there was some kind of, synergy between the two of them as scoundrels. I think that would be good. Plus, they'd have to give her a bounty hunter tag.
But that would include that she would need a leadership, and she would need a contract, she would need a payout.
Yeah.
I don't know if she'd be a bounty hunter. I don't think she'd be a bounty hunter.
I think she would.
I think she would be a scoundrel, but not a bounty hunter.
Yeah, she would be a bounty hunter. She's, you know, just harker back to season 1. She was, for all intents, but she was a bounty hunter. She was a high-end bounty hunter that would be hired to do, you know, assassinations. I mean, she was, you know, a scoundrel for hire. She was a bounty hunter in season 1. She was.
All right.
She'd have to get that tag.
We can agree to disagree. I'll go back and watch over this weekend, possibly. All right. But coming up after this break, Neil and I are going to take 2 separate sides. It does not necessarily mean that we agree with the side we're given, but Neil and I are going to have it out, or otherwise Neil will try to talk me down because he doesn't like my point of view. Coming up after these messages right here on the Escape Podcast.
The Escape Pod Cast with Paul Anthony and Neil Andrew Ware.
HotBot in HotUtils is one of the most comprehensive tools for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.
With integration into the super useful mod tool Grand Ivory, HotUtils can help you tackle some of the most difficult aspects of the game.
Not sure how to mod your roster for a certain game mode?
Use one of the many filters that automatically assigns the right mods to the right character in accordance with your guild needs.
Now with additional features that can assist you and your guild officers in territory battles and territory wars, HotUtils is an amazing value.
And don't forget the useful tools for yourself in Grand Arena, like the in-depth and customizable compare feature.
Got multiple accounts like Neil, but not the time to remod them all?
With this one-stop utility, you can switch between your alts and never miss a mod upgrade or a mod switch before locking into GAC or Territory Wars.
Starting at just $5 a month, you don't want to miss out on these great tools.
HotUtils is the new official remodding service for the Escape Pod. Cast.
Visit HotUtils.com to learn more. That's HotUtils.com. And go ahead and spice up your Galaxy of Heroes experience.
Hello, friends. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and I approve this message and am compensated for signups for this service.
The world's largest audiobook library is at your fingertips, and the Escape Pod Castaways wants you to try it for free. Head on over to escapepodcastaways.com and click the Going Nerdy offer button to claim a free audiobook and 2 Audible originals. Cancel anytime, and it's absolutely free to sign up. Check out Audible and support the Escape Pod Castaways. All for free. See Audible website for details. Restrictions may apply.
Did you know that if you signed up to become a Patreon, you could get tons of rewards? Force Ghost Scotty could do a roster review for you. Neil Andrew Air could share Grand Arena tactics. Or Paul could even help you get maximum stars in Geonosis Territory Battle. And you even get access into the after show. Sound good? Sign up to be a Patreon today. For as little as $2 a month, you could unlock a ton of potential content and also get closer to the hosts. Head to patreon.com/The Escape Pod to sign up.
Hello, I am Andy Beeds, commander of the 506 Procrastination Battalion.
And I'm Camp Director Flair of Gaming Embers.
We are the officers of the Chain Gang.
We're a collection of Twitch streamers that like to stream our Grand Arena Championship battles.
In Star Wars Galaxy Heroes,
We feature accounts of all sizes,
from the large accounts like Fruit Ninja Mike
to the small accounts like, well, mine.
We have grand arena action for all viewers.
With names like The Llama,
Ran B,
Dr. Zeppers,
Mr. Jigabachi,
Geek Girl 1980,
Rico,
Kate Gaming,
Flair,
Andy Beads,
and the Escape Podcast's own The Nev.
We bring you continuous game action every day during the attack phase.
Check us out and ride the raid chain from streamer to streamer with us.
The Chain Gang is proud feature of the Escape Pod Castaways.
See you on the chain, ya hosers.
The Escape Pod Cast.
And welcome back. Okay, Paul, you have some housekeeping.
Yeah, so we were going to talk about, we had a interview with HotUtils and the entire, most of the HotUtils version 2 team this past week.
Mm-hmm.
We posted that on, I think we did it on Tuesday and posted it Wednesday?
No. Yeah, no, it was either, it was Tuesday night. Pretty sure it was Tuesday night, yeah.
Yeah, Tuesday night. We posted it. By the way, Bo Monday is saying that my mic's turned up a little bit too much. That's probably because Ranger's quiet and you turned it up for that. Anyway, so we had the interview with HotUtils. We posted that on our YouTube channel. We may have a recap next week, but if you guys want to see it, it's about an hour and 15 minutes or so.
Yeah, it's about 75 minutes long.
Yeah, and we get into some fun topics. We talk about the bot, talk about all that. Agent of Change 11, thank you very much for the follow. That's another thing I'm going to be getting to in just a moment. But we had some fun with the entire team of HotUtils version 2. And it's something that I really strongly recommend you check out if you have not already.
Yeah, it's a good long-form conversation.
All right. Also, Neil, last week you streamed your GAC Friday night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we broke 900
Yeah,
followers.
We broke the
on
900
Twitch.
follower mark. Yeah, that was very nice. Very
So
sweet.
because of Agent of Change 11, we are now at 908 as of this recording. You guys are amazing from the bottom of our hearts, Neil and I's. Thank you for all your support and your following.
It's good. It's all good. Come on, 1,000. I want 1,000 by my birthday.
Well, I've got 13 days until mine, and I don't think we'll hit 1,000 by then.
Yeah, I'm March 13th, so we've got a month until we can potentially hit mine. So it's a full month. We've got 1 month to get that extra 100.
All right. So let's go ahead and get into the. It was dropped, I think, on Saturday. Let me just double check.
I think the original everybody was talking about it at the weekend. It occurred. I think the solo occurred at the weekend.
Oh, the solos were happening before. This was what was. Our friend Darth Kermit was showing that it could be done.
Yeah, but it was somebody else that did it.
So
it was somebody called Peter, I think, wasn't it?
That I don't know.
So it was. I'm relatively certain it was a random member of the community that simply created. That doesn't really have a channel, but you know, obviously they've got a Google account, and if you've got a Google, by virtue of having a Google account and a Gmail account, you've automatically got a YouTube account. So you know, I'm pretty sure that he just used the DU recorder. Recorded himself soloing P1 of the Rancor, and then he throw it up because a couple of content creators talked about it, mentioned it, and then everybody instantly then went out to try and emulate that because everybody's like, right, okay, so you need these 5 characters, at this relic level, and then it was more a case of people making sure that they had the mod loadouts for each of those individual characters because it's not just having these 5 characters at Relic 7. It does require very specific mod layouts for each of these individual characters as well. And there is a speed check required on each of these 5 characters so that the characters that need to go in a specific order go in that specific order.
Yeah. Calvin Awesome just messaged us. He's excited. Calvin, we'll be getting to you in about 23 minutes here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll be getting to you soon, buddy.
So, all right. So you think this is a good thing?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. There was a very, very short and sweet post on the forums by Doja Fett. Just CG simply saying, we are aware of it. Not that they were going to do something, just that they are aware that P1 of the Crancor is now soloable under very, very specific conditions. And that's why I think it's not something that they're going to do. Because there are people now concerned that the Crancor is going to be either altered or Slacker is going to be nerfed. And I don't think that that's going to happen. I think that the money guys, at CG or EA, whoever's kind of looking at things like this is going to look at that and go, you know what? Leave it. Because the only way it can be soloed is with a very, very specific set of characters and a very, very specific set of mods. And if you want to get your account to the position where you have that team and you have the mods for that team, you're going to have to spend a lot of crystals getting to it. And I think that will have a certain appeal to a lot of people. Because if you can get that, if you can get a couple of whales or a couple of krakens to drop, the money on some chests to make the necessary purchases, make the necessary gamble on various different relics and, clock them up on those characters and then do some, spending on the requirements to roll the mods to try and get those mods, sweet on all of those characters, it will make money. And that's why I think that they're going to leave it. I think that they're going to leave it because it has the potential to squeeze some money, not out of dolphins or minnows, but it has the potential to squeeze a little bit of cash out of the whales and the krakens that already have those characters but might not necessarily have them all at Relic 7. So, a whale or a kraken might have 3 of them at 7 and 2 of them at 5, and they'll think, oh, I'll take them to 7 and rework my mods. I only need to spend, $50 on crystals to take them up to that relic level to do the refreshes. And that's why I think that they're going to leave it.
Okay. So they already are getting the money for having to get characters to Relic 5, Neil. So seeing that something can make it so guilds don't have to coordinate for the first phase. I think that it is going to get nerfed. Now remember, guys, we're not necessarily taking the sides that we believe in, but we're taking two opposite sides. I think that it should get nerfed because, honestly, as Nightmare kind of stole my thunder in chat, not many people are using Slacker in Phase 1 anyway. My guild uses him in Phase 2. In Phase 1, it's the Darth Vader team with Shaak Ti, C-3PO, Kylo Ren Unmasked, and Wat Tambor. How many of those would you normally take to Relic 5? Just a layman.
Yeah, but this isn't about the layman. The Crancor has never been about the layman player. It's not. It's not about your average run-of-the-mill player.
So Darth Vader, you take you take pretty high because of Merciless Massacre, right?
My Vaders are all Relic 4.
Kylo Ren Unmasked. If you went for Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, you have him at 7.
But if you didn't, you don't. And you're not going to take him to 5 just so that you can take him into the Crancor raid.
I did that with Wat Tambor.
Wat Tambor is a plug and play. It's like Thrawn. Wat Tambor is a character that I think a lot of people would relic, but I can tell you now, he's not a character I'm going to be taking to Relic 5. I'll stop at 3 or 4.
What about C-3PO?
C-3PO is already at 5 on my main, and I will take him to 5 on my alt because he needs to be at 5 in order to get JML. And I already had him at 3. So taking him up an extra couple of relic levels, not doing it for the Rancor, not doing it for Crancor, doing it for JML.
Okay, I'm going to turn this right back around on you here, though. What about if you don't go for JML?
If I wasn't going for JML, I wouldn't be taking him up to Relic 5. I'd have left him
exactly.
at 3.
That's somebody that you would need to level up. And unless your guild is doing Geonosis territory battles, you don't have Shaak Ti anywhere near 5.
Yeah, no, my Shaak Ti across the board, as far as I'm concerned, is Gear 11. I mean, she's got Azetas, but for me, she's Gear 11 across the board. On all my accounts, she's Gear 11 or below.
Yeah, we look at the Slacker team for Phase 2 now. That is Thrawn, who is a plug and play, like you said. That is Daka. That is Zombie. Those two, along with Slacker being the lead, those are a 3v3 team. And then you also have Hux. So, usually, with the exception of Night Sisters, you're not, well, maybe not on Thrawn. Where's your Thrawn at, Neil?
11s and 12s.
Yeah. You're not relicking him to be able to, take him in.
No, I have other characters that are a higher priority to get to a relic. I have more priorities on other characters to take them to gear 13.
Yeah. But Nightmare does point out, and I was going to get to that. Once again, stealing my thunder, Nightmare. You need Thrawn relicked for Sith Empire Eternal.
Mm-hmm.
Or Sith Emperor Eternal. So you've got that. It's the Night Sisters that you might not have. And you may be like me and accidentally take Talzin up to Relic 5 and then go, okay, I'm ready. And then somebody says it's supposed to be Daka, and then you go, shh, crap. So, fine, Mark, that is true. You don't need C-3PO for Rey, but you do need him for Jedi Knight Luke.
Yeah, I just, I'm not big on taking my gear 13s above relic above relic 4. Most of my I've got on my main account, I've got 4 at 5 and 7. I've got 2 at 5 and 2 at 7. Everything else is at 4. Everything else is at 4. I kind of stop at 4. I used to stop at 3, but then I realized going from 3 to 4 just made them that much better. It did. It really made them so much better going from 3 to 4. And going from 3 to 4 was relatively cheap. So I think because I had plenty of salvage, so it was easy to, make 20 of that 4th piece. So yeah, taking them to 4 is still relatively cheap. I thought it was, 3 was a good enough placeholder. So, but yeah, I changed my mind, switched to 4. So, my Wampa and my Vader that were languishing at 3, yeah, instantly bumped them to 4. Just makes them that little bit better.
Yeah. Relic 4 is where I stopped for a long time until this Rancor raid. Now I'm thinking 5 is my stopping point, but 5 is where it starts to take the extra stuff. It's a pain in the butt, but that's probably why they've done it. But, my argument is not about that Slacker is better in Phase 2 and Phase 3. The argument that I want to make is there are people that when there was the Phase 3 solo with C-3PO and Finn and things like that, there were people that would go in, hit auto once they knocked down Traya and walk away from the phone, and because they completed an entire phase, they would end up getting top tier rewards for the Sith raid. And that raid had been out a while, Neil. The problem that I'm seeing is that if Joe Schmo comes along and solos Phase 1 with Slacker, not only have they used Slacker already, which is better in Phase 2 and 3, in my opinion, to help your guild, because other people can use Vader in Phase 1. The problem is, if somebody is soloing the phase, why even bother is usually the mentality for people in Phase 2, Phase 3, and Phase 4. And especially when the Rancor gets progressively madder and madder and beefier, it becomes a really, really slippery slope and sticky situation, in my opinion, Neil.
It's P1. It's just P1. Okay?
It's P1, but it's just still P1. A chunk.
Yes, it's just P1, and it's a big chunk. And there's no doubt in the back of my mind that, the theory crafters will come up with something that will do... Maybe the theory crafters can't come up with a team that will solo P2 or solo P3 or solo P4, but they're going to come up with better, more efficient teams to get larger chunks and bigger percentages in those phases as time goes by. I mean, you got to remember that the Crancor raid, it's only been around for a few months. It's not been around that long, and P1 is already getting soloed. Okay? So how long before the theory crafters come up with something for P2 that gets you 20-25%? How long before they come up with a squad that gets you 20-25% in P3? How long, it's inevitable. It's going to happen. When CG came out and they said, yeah, we've come up with this raid and it's going to be so hard and no one's going to be able to solo it. It's like, theory crafters went, CG, hold my beer. Because that's what the theory crafters do. And they work harder and more diligently at figuring out the best squads for the various different phases because they no longer have access to test accounts. So, it'll happen. It's gonna happen, and it will get easier and easier and easier. And there's no doubt in the back of my mind that by the end of this year, there is going to be, a fully decked out, all singing, all dancing video by either Skeletrix, probably Skeletrix, that says, right, you need this for P1, you need this one team for P1, you need these 4 teams for P2, you need these 4 teams for P3, and you need these 6 teams for P4. Now, the people that make those teams, that get those percentages in order for the Crancor to be completed, that's great, because if only 10 people, you only need 10 whales or 10 krakens in a guild that have the ability to do that. The remaining 40% aren't going to care that they get slightly reduced rewards. All they're going to care is that they're actually going to get rewards for a raid that they haven't got a bloody chance at because they don't have the disposable income to create the teams that are going to be necessary to complete that raid by the end of the year. Okay? P1, done. The theory crafters will refine that solo team, and then they'll get straight to work on P2, P3, and P4. And that is what will be good. Now, your concern, and I understand your concern, is that somebody can just do P1 and finish at the top of the the top of the pyramid and get the rewards. Okay, now if you're in a guild that's already doing the Crancor and already completing it and already getting the rewards, they're not going to let that, a guild is not going to just let it stand that one person does that and then that's it. They'll probably say to them, look, just do 50%, give everybody a chance to kind of, get some rewards as well. But for guilds that can't do it, having one person in your guild that can do that, and then everybody else just has to worry about 2, 3, and 4, it's going to be great for those guilds. Because they're not end game guilds. They'll be middle of the road guilds, with maybe one squad. I still don't have a full squad at Relic 5 on any of my accounts. None of them. But if there was somebody in my guild that had taken it upon their shoulders to put together the squad necessary to solo P1, I would look at that and go, you know what? If you can put the resources into doing that, I will put the resources together to make 1 or 2 full Relic 5 squads that it's not going to get a massive amount, but it will be my contribution to the Crancor raid. And whatever rewards I get, great. At least I'm getting rewards and I'm getting something out of it. There you go. So, back to you.
Yeah. It still is the fact. Yes, I got my first Relic 8 just this past weekend. Major props to Finn and Daenerys. Not RSG Finn, but he goes by Finn. Finn and Daenerys coordinating the raid for Yavin 4. Thank you to both of you guys for everything you did. We've now done it 3 times. I placed top 10 twice and 11th one of the times. But if somebody comes in out of nowhere down below and bumps everybody down because they soloed the raid or they soloed the first phase, it's going to turn a lot of people off from even trying because they're multi-phase, going in and spending time and coordinating with us. It's going to disenfranchise. That's the word I'm looking for. It will disenfranchise some of the people who are there every single phase and are working to make it better.
How you handle the individuals in your guild is entirely up to you. You don't want one person doing that. That's all about, that's you communicating with the people in your guild. But, you know, you suggesting that every guild should have to do... I don't think that every guild is going to want to or need to do that. There are going to be guilds out there that will be thanking their lucky stars if they've got somebody in their guild that can solo P1. That may not be the case for your guild, but that is definitely going to be the case for a lot of guilds out there. My guild, we still can't get past P1. We cannot get past P1. So if we had one person in our guild right now that could solo P1, we'd be thanking our lucky stars. Because at least then we can get to P2 and start pissing around with P2. And we can start messing around with what we need for 2. Maybe we get past 2, then we can think about 3. Maybe we get past 3 and we can think about 4. Right now, we can't do squat because we can't get past P1. So if we had one individual person that was a whale or a kraken that purchased what was necessary to solo P1, we'd be kissing his ass. Your guild wouldn't, because your guild is already doing the Crancor. So you want more control over what each individual person does. That's fine. That's the way that you want to do things in your guild. But there are a lot of guilds out there that cannot get past P1 and would very much like to have one person in their guild that can clear P1 so they can at least try their characters and their squads that are Relic 5 in P2 and 3 and 4, if they can even get past them. I know I would love to try. I would love to try my Relic characters against P2. Right now, I can't. I take them in P1, I know that they're going to get smashed, so I don't even bother. The people in my guild, a couple people go in, and they have a little play, and they have a little practice. Most of us don't even bother, because we know that we're not going to get more than a couple of 100,000. So I don't even bother.
There you go again. Because you're only going to get a couple 100,000, and you're going to have lower rewards thanks to the soloer. You don't even bother.
The lower end of... The lower end is better than nothing. I'm getting nothing. I'm getting zero. I'm getting 0. Everybody is getting 0. I would rather get the lower end of some crappy rewards than nothing. And that's what I'm saying. You know, if the choice is nothing or crappy rewards, I'll take crappy rewards.
All right. So once again, we debated this, taking totally opposite sides. We're not going to tell you what side we're on. We may even be on the actual opposite end of our own arguments on what we truly feel. Maybe we'll tell you next week about that. But coming up, we've got Calvin Awesome, a great Season 2 GA Center content creator that you guys got to meet. We'll see you guys after these messages right here. Oh, and Storytime with the Llama right here on the Escape Pod Cast.
The Escape Pod Cast with Paul Anthony and Neil Andrew Ware.
Hello, Escape Podawans. It is the Llama here to remind you that the Escape Pod Castaways are on social media. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, you can catch us on YouTube and on Twitch every week streaming Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, LEGO Legacy Heroes Unboxed, your favorite new Galaxy of Heroes show GA Center, and so much more. Come catch us on the web.
Are you a member of Team Paul or Team Neil? Maybe you prefer Storytime with the Llama, or dabble in the buttery side of the Force with Biscuit Weasel. Or maybe you like the Escape Pod talents from Down Under like Heinzie and Scotty. No matter who you support, you can get one of my designs from the Escape Podcast merch store. Just go to escapepodcastaways.com, click on the merch link, and it will take you to the TeePublic site where you can support me, Mrs. Anthony, also known as Critty K. Also be sure to check out the Mrs. Anthony Shirts channel on the Escape Podcast's Discord server weekly to vote for my latest shirts in the Design Derby on Woot. Links for both of these are down below. Thank you for supporting the Escape Pod cast.
Heinze from the ANZGC is officially a member of the Escape Pod Castaways. Make sure you go and search for Heinze on YouTube today because he live streams a lot of his GAC content, and not only does he do that, he also does some pretty fun videos from time to time, including a behind the screen and also streaming Jedi Fallen Order. And from time to time, this idiot might drop by. Head on over and check out Heinze today on YouTube, a part of the Escape Pod Castaways network.
The Escape Pod cast for kids. It's really cool.
Hello, Escape Padawans, and welcome back to Storytime with the Llama and the Escape Pod cast for kids. This week on the Journey Through the Journey Guide series, we are going to be taking a look at another character who's not available in a traditional legendary event, and that is Rebel Officer Leia Organa, or as she's more commonly referred to as Rolo. Now, you can get Leia Organa in the Hoth Rebel Assault territory battles. She's a reward for a special mission in Phase 3 of TB. Let's take a closer look at Rebel Officer Leia Organa herself. Her basic ability, Hold Off, will deal physical damage to the target enemy and inflict buff immunity for 2 turns. Leia will also gain 10% turn meter and an additional 10% turn meter if the target had full health, and an additional 10% turn meter if the target is Empire. Her special ability, Rebel Barrage, deals physical damage 10 times to random enemy targets. Enemies struck more than once suffer ability block for 1 turn. This ability's cooldown is reduced by 1 whenever Leia scores a critical hit or suffers a debuff. These attacks cannot be countered. She is a leader. Her leadership ability grants Rebel allies plus 20% tenacity and 20% critical chance. Whenever a Rebel ally takes damage from an Empire enemy, they have a 50% chance to gain Foresight for 2 turns. The first time each turn a Rebel ally resists a detrimental effect or suffers a debuff, they gain 30% turn meter. Her unique ability, Dauntless, Leia has plus 10% offense and plus 40% tenacity. The first time each turn Leia resists a detrimental effect or suffers a debuff, she gains 15% turn meter and gains 35% offense, which is stacking until the end of her next turn. Rolo has 1 Zeta, and that's going to be on her unique ability, Dauntless. As far as mods go, you're definitely going to want to mod her for critical damage and critical chance. You want her getting those crit hits, especially with her special ability. As far as what teams to put her on, she's a really good Rebel B team leader. You can put her with Lando, you can put her with Stormtrooper Han or Snow Han, and they kind of form a really great team. She's really good in 3v3s, not so much in 5v5, but she's really key in 3v3. You can throw her on defense and she'll be a really great team for you. That's all for me. Tune in next week for more story time with the llama in the Escape Pod cast for kids.
Hotbot in HotUtils is one of the most comprehensive tools for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.
With integration into the super useful mod tool Grand Ivory, HotUtils can help you tackle some of the most difficult aspects of the game.
Not sure how to mod your roster for a certain game mode?
Use one of the many filters that automatically assigns the right mods to the right character in accordance with your guild needs.
Now with additional features that can assist you and your guild officers in territory battles and territory wars, HotUtils is an amazing value.
And don't forget the useful tools for yourself in Grand Arena, like the in-depth and customizable compare feature.
Got multiple accounts like Neil, but not the time to remod them all?
With this one-stop utility, you can switch between your alts and never miss a mod upgrade or a mod switch before locking into GAC or territory wars.
Starting at just $5 a month, you don't want to miss out on these great tools.
HotUtils is the new official remodding service for the Escape Pod cast.
Visit HotUtils.com to learn more. That's HOTUTILS.com. And go ahead and spice up your Galaxy of Heroes experience.
Receiving incoming transmission. Receiving incoming transmission. Receiving incoming transmission.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This week's incoming transmission is awesome. Literally. Paul, why don't you introduce our guest?
So, Calvin is a GAC manipulator. He's always been competitive, he says, so GAC has appealed to him the most. And he's taken first multiple times throughout Division 2 and 3, and I'm talking literal first. And he's managed top 10 in Division 1. Ladies and gentlemen, via Kansas City, straight out of Sao Paulo, Brazil, may I bring you Calvin Awesome. Calvin, how you doing, bud?
I'm doing really well tonight. First of all, thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
So I got this right. First in Division 2 and 3?
Yeah, that was, I don't know if that was a fruit of the pandemic exactly, but last year I was able to, through a lot of time and planning, both in my roster and with my attack and defense strategies, to pull off, I believe, first in Division 3 one time and twice in Division 2.
And this 3v3 was your first month or second month in Division 1?
It was my second month. Second. I had a little fun last 5v5 and didn't do anything quite impressive, but I've been excited to be in Division 1. I feel like I'm finally with everyone. Like before in Division 2 and Division 3, like I knew some people, but now I'm like, wow, like I see all these big names on the top 50 leaderboard.
Yeah, no, Division 1 is where it's at. Division 1 is where it's at. It's not where we'd like it at, but it is it's at. Obviously, if everybody that was serious about GAC, if we all got our way, Division 1 would be fragmented further than it currently is. It wouldn't be 4.5 to bloody 9 million. Division 1 would be split down again. So, it'd still be Division 1, but, like a Division 1B and Division 1C and Division 1, something, that's the way we very much prefer. That's where everybody would like it.
If they wanted to make it like they did when GAC first was a reality, it would have to be separated into at least 3, if not 4 divisions at this point. It's just ginormous.
Yeah, because we talked to Taliana, who does the 50 Shades of Cam, and she broke down all the stuff about where people were in divisions. And when it started, there were a lot of people.
It was like a camel. It would go up the hump and it would go down the hump.
And now it's, looking like the latest COVID numbers, straight up.
Yep, exactly.
So it is needed, definitely. But that doesn't make it any less fun, because we, on the Escape Pod Castaways Content Creator Network, do just that, don't we, Calvin?
Yes, yeah. I still love it. Like, I'm not gonna not play or not stream GAC just because I mixed in with 150,000 people or something like that in Division 1. It's still, it could have 3 times the amount and I would only get top 100 or something, trying my hardest, and it would still be the best thing. It would still be my favorite part of the game.
So let's hear about your account. For the 2 questions we ask everybody: what's your GP and where do you focus? And then the second question is, does Neil get to cheer that you're free to play?
Okay, little clarification on the first question. Where's my focus? Do you mean like light side, dark side, game mode?
No. Yeah, are you focused on, are you focused on raids? Are you focused on squad and fleet arena, or are you focused on GAC like me?
Okay, yeah, so my GP is 5.2 million. So that's 2 seasons being in Division 1 right now. And my roster is entirely built for GAC. There is like, I think the only exception where I went out of my way for something that wasn't GAC focused was the Cam mission, because I want Cam so badly, and I'm afraid there's going to be some prequel era content that it's going to come out this year and it's going to need him, and I have to be ready for that. So that's pretty much my roster. I tried to do my best in other game modes or other events with what GAC has given me, and it works pretty well. Like I can climb an arena. I have SLKR, so I can solo the Sith raid. Usually top 20 for Crancor. Not super impressive, but it works.
Yeah, for me, Cam is needed for a Phase 4 team that you could do with JML. So to get like 6 to 10%. Yeah, I want Cam too, but it's going to be a little bit.
Oh yeah, I've seen him do a lot of weird like unique stuff, and it's hard to tell right now because the content creators that have him are so limited. It's like only like the really, really top line or top GP content creators have him at Relic, and as an attacker, he's only going to be really good if he's Relic.
Yeah. So, what about the free to play? Have you spent any money on the game? Is Neil gonna cheer, or is he gonna weep silently into his free to play tears for me to drink later?
Okay, so Neil can correct me on this one, but I would like to believe that I have a Kyber engraved free to play card. No type of monetization has ever touched my account. I haven't done surveys. I haven't gotten gift cards for a birthday. I haven't put any of my own money into it.
That just makes me even more jealous of your account, because I'm 5 mil, you're 5.2. So yeah, that's about right for 100% pure free to play. Yeah, that makes sense.
I started a little late too. Like I think my accounts, I think I'm approaching 3.5 years right now. But I've been very, very happy with how okay, the game can be a little pay to win it sometimes, but it's always been really free to play.
Yeah, there's always there's usually a free to play workaround. Takes a little bit longer, but there's usually a free to play.
Takes time.
Yeah, there's usually a free to play workaround.
Takes effort, but it's always there. I agree.
Yeah, like for a low end account, a workaround for a low end account, free to play wise, is your geos. Go very, very hard, very, very fast on your geos. You can have a tiny little 1 mil GP account, but some great big massive guild doing GOTB will take you if you can guarantee what Tambor shards. It's like, so if there's a guild and there's 50 people in it and only 25 are getting what Tambor shards, and there you are with your little 1 million GP, like I was, 1 million GP, but relic geos, the guild leader's going to be like, yeah, you can take this guy who's 3.5 but can't get what Tambor shards. Because then everybody looks at you and goes, what's this guy doing in our guild? And the guild leader says to the other 25, are you getting what Tambor shards? No, then shut up. So there are free-to-play workarounds. So you could, you could go hard on a low-end account and get yourself the perfect cam team. And then go to a high-end guild and say, I have a Relic 7. Every single member of the team that needed to do the cam mission is Relic 7 and modded, but there's nothing else in my account. Will you take me? They probably take you.
Especially for those LSTBs where you just lose someone, and even a ticket alt. even a ticket all without befriend. So you get a ticket all and a cam shard. And realistically, if you have the cam team, you're getting at least probably somewhere around 12 waves, which actually is really low now that I think about it. But still, that's something.
So there are free-to-play workarounds. There's a free-to-play workaround for everything. There's always a free-to-play workaround. You just got to kind of like pick up. You just got to kind of pick it, haven't you? You just got to kind of pick that workaround.
It does take more work though. You have to be aware of what the community is discovering. You have to be aware of what new kits are coming into the game. It takes time and it takes effort, but there are parts of spending that do too. So it goes both ways.
Yeah, because I'm tempted to I am now that I've got a few more things on my little baby 2.5 mil account. I am tempted to go hard on just to see if find somebody that gets the light side GOTB just so that I can see if I can get cam. Just to see if I can. I'll be like, I've got the team, but I'm not in a guild. Will you let me in?
Well, I think I don't know. But the 50 shards of cam guild, if that's still a thing, I think it is. I think that's like the main criteria. Like, get a shard.
Yeah, get a shard, and we'll let you in. And then that's it. I think that's it. It's just a guild that rotates people. That they have one game plan, and that is to get to that mission, so that everybody can then get cam shards. And then once you've got them, I think you leave the guild and you just go on your merry way. I think that's.
I think that's how it works too. So it's an option. It's a good idea.
So GAC, we've got 5v5 coming back now. You've been in Div 1 for a 5v5 and for a 3v3. Obviously, you killed it for 3v3. I know this because I reported on your GACs every single week. And you absolutely killed it. I mean, just to kind of like keep you up to date on it. Season 1 of GA Center, we only had 2 competitors on 2 separate weeks score 8,000s. You did that every single week. Every single week. We had Endall did it once in 1 week, and whatever did it once in 1 week. And that was out of 2 months worth of 3v3. And that was our inaugural season. You did that every single week. How? Just how?
There are a lot of reasons, but I think probably the biggest one is this is true a little bit for 5v5, but it's very true for 3v3, is I go high risk, high reward. And by that, I mean, I go really heavy offense. So if my opponent decides to go heavy offense too, great. He's probably going to struggle with my B teams. Because generally, not always, but generally I have a higher speed mod count. Like, okay, your B teams are going to struggle against my B teams, but my A teams should beat your A teams if I plan accordingly. And if they decide to go heavy offense as well, then I would try to get those stupid high scores that I really should not have been able to get. I think those popped up every now and then. And it was because I was taking in Jedi Knight Luke to solo crew teams because that's what my opponent left for me.
So, in this, are you even across the board in your top 80? Are you min-maxing everything? Because there are a lot. Now, correct me if I'm wrong here, Neil. The biggest complaint about another competitor that I'm not going to invoke his name and cause a whole, riot right now. But there was a competitor that we interviewed on a long-form interview that did the very minimum to be able to get into Division 1 and then slowly grew from there, making sure not to go too far.
I'm sorry, what was
So what was the question?
The question is, are you min-maxing everything, or are you playing to make yourself happy?
Okay, I min max to a certain extent. I think this has been brought up before. Like every player does this. Not every player, actually, that's not true. But most competitive GAC players do this a little bit. I know the person you're referring to, and that's his game, or that's what he did. But I want Galactic Legends. I wanted SLKR. I was so sick and tired of using JTR and P1 of the Sith raids. So if I need to R7 both the crews and Palpatine, so be it. Or I wanted Jedi Master Luke. I wanted to be able to climb an arena. So I have a Relic 5 Mon Mothma. Like these are not things that you would min max. R5 is not where you would bring Mon Mothma if you were trying specifically to get. I'll say it as it is. If you're specifically trying to get inferior GAC matches, like where you're just getting people you're going to crush. But I do min max things. But part of that does go into my limited resources. If you look at my roster, you'll see I have an R0 Thrawn, and I think I have an R0 Cardoon. There is the part of that that is min maxed. I want the speed on that character. I don't necessarily need the relics. But on the other hand, I do not know the name, the Carbonite relic piece, Carbonite circuit board or whatever it's called. I don't have a lot of those at all. Like I would like
is it the Bindi circuit board?
It's the first one. Whatever the first one is, for my next GL, I think I need 1,700 of them, and I only have 1,000. So I can't take Thrawn to Relic 3 and Cardoon to Relic 3 and all these other characters that don't necessarily need relics, because when the next GL comes out, Master Kenobi or Pre-Suit Vader that I really, really want, I don't have the materials for it. So I guess my answer to your question is
Pre-Suit Vader. That made me smile. Sorry.
You're good. It's the correct name because Fallen Anakin technically doesn't exist because that automatically makes him Vader. Anyways.
Yeah, no, we've had that argument before on this channel. Yeah, there is no such thing as Fallen Anakin. It's Anakin Skywalker, boom, Darth Vader.
There's no in between. Like just because he doesn't
there
have
is
the breathing
problem
doesn't mean he's not Darth Vader.
There is no in between. Read the book, watch the movie. He gets on his knees and becomes Vader.
Rise, Vader.
Exactly. But yeah, that would be the answer to my question, more or less on the min maxing.
So you what is your next goal then in your game?
My next goal, I'm working on a lot of things actually right now. I'm stuck on carbs on literally everyone right now. I want the new Mando characters because they're super cool. IG, Quill, and Moff Gideon actually, now that he's super farmable. Like
what was so cheap?
What was the last 10 energy cantina? Was it Kira?
Yeah.
Like, I think you're right.
That's a long time ago. Like that almost seems slightly suspicious. But anyways, I'm working on gearing the 3 of them, and I'm trying to get Magna Guard to gear 13 right now because my normal CLS counter for CLS and Grand Arena is CLS. I do the mirror, and while that's great and all, it's a lot better to use General Grievous. So I'm going to take my Magna Guard up to gear 13 as well.
So no GLs on the horizon, just that. Just some counters. Just some counters and finishing off the Mando characters.
I'm cautious about the GLs because of what might come in the future. For the exact point that I recently mentioned, I have 1,000 of the whatchamacallits. I don't remember the name. I know for GL, I'm going to need 1,700. So I don't want to already start on the road to Palp. I would like Palp. And then in the middle of it, a new Galactic Legend comes out that I want even more. So if 3 months pass and it kind of becomes clear CG is moving away from the GLs for whatever reason, I'll cash in. Like I'll go after Palp full steam ahead. But until I'm going to give it a few more months before working towards another GL.
What is okay? So, other than what you're working on there, what are you working on for your channel? Because we got to start wrapping up here. So, what can people expect if they head over to twitch.tv/Calvin_awesome?
Yeah, okay. There's quite a bit going on now. Obviously, I stream GAC every Saturday, Monday, and Thursday at 2:00 Eastern Standard Time, 2 p.m. That's the bread and butter. Like that's in theory the show where we try to do our best in GAC. What is coming on the horizon right now? I'm trying to do some more things on Twitch involving the community. Tomorrow actually at the same time, Saturday 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be doing some roster reviews and some LSTB. And on Sunday, I actually am going to be doing a GAC review of this past month with Tylo Mad, another competitor in mine and Nev's division in Grand Arena Championship. So that's going to be cool. We're going to talk about both of our seasons, kind of what we expect for the next season. It'll be a good time.
Lose a few rounds. Yeah.
It'll happen. It'll happen sooner or later.
Tito's already lost one, so I'm only one behind him, but I'm two behind you. So, yeah.
I've
not
never
hopeful.
gone 3 whole seasons without dropping a battle, so it's gonna happen.
I am not hopeful.
You got to go 4. If you want to tie, if you want to be recognized as one of the only people who's gone undefeated through an entire season, the only person to do that is Bulldog.
Bulldog, yeah.
And you've got 3 more months to not lose.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, we'll see. I like to build kind of personal goal marks. I don't know if that's something that I'll go after, but if it happens, it happens.
And wouldn't he be moved up to Division A if he does that? Top 3 go up.
One of the things that we're looking at now, majors to Premier League is going to happen, but what I'm potentially looking at is, yes, there will be some movement between the divisions when we go from Season 2 to Season 3 in order to recognize the skills displayed by various different gackers. So there will be promotions between the divisions, but there will be a big reshuffle. There's going to be one more big reshuffle at the end of Season 2 going into Season 3 so that we can get as many, because you saw the show. The Premier League is like so stupidly competitive at the moment. There are 5 people undefeated, right? There's nobody undefeated in majors, nobody undefeated in triple, nobody undefeated in double. So none of the A leagues, with the exception of you, with the exception of you in A and a couple people in the double A, all of those upper leagues, it's just the Premier League. So there is going to be there is going to be some movement, definitely, and some recognition of just how good people are. It will depend on how well you are at the end.
I mean, that's only
2.
natural. Like every 4 months, or I guess for you guys, it's a season. You're gonna have to reevaluate. Things change. The game itself changes. What you guys are going for changes. And let me just say, thank you guys so much for everything you do, especially with GA Center. It's been really cool to meet other content creators and to get to know everyone. Like the kind of thing that I'm doing with Tylo here in 2 days, a lot of it was influenced by kind of you guys bringing everyone together. So thank you for all of this.
Wow.
Yeah, that's lovely. And Season 3 is going to be awesome. Season 3, there's going to be even more tough people in, because Premier League will lose 3. It's guaranteed to lose 3 at the end of Season 2.
But they'll gain 3 more.
But it will gain 3 more. Maybe even 5. There's 10 in the Premier League.
That's the thing. Like there are the content creator, people like streaming their Twitch or battles onto Twitch is growing a lot, and it's really cool because we're getting this huge movement coming to Twitch finally. I think this last year it happened a lot, but I think it's only going to continue to grow. So I'm all for it.
We are almost at the 1-year anniversary of our switch to Twitch. So we did it. We're at 908 right now. We're humbled by everything. We've been on here for 11 months. Literally, it was 2 weeks before your birthday. So it was like the first show of March, right, Neil?
Yeah.
The first show of March, we came over to Twitch, and it's been great. So, all right.
I'm all about it. I love the community. I love the conversation, the contact, and I love that it's growing on a mass scale, not just for one or two specific creators, but the game itself is moving towards. I think it's good for game health. It keeps people interested. It builds community. It'll keep it around longer.
Yeah. If we make the content, people will still play and they'll be interested in it. And that's why thank the Epiphany Toilet. I came up with the idea for the show. It was just like, GAC is the biggest thing in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. It needs a show dedicated to it. So yeah. Hopefully by season 3, like I said, when we hit season 3, it's going to be even more. Hopefully, it'll be even more competitive than it is now. And I know it's a lot more competitive in season 2 than it was in season 1. So yeah.
And we are. I'm going to put this call out right now. At this exact moment, we're not accepting new people to add willy-nilly to the boards. But if anybody is a creator that consistently posts their GACs or streams their GAC, is in a upstanding person that interacts with other people in a positive fashion and is willing to join a server and do the reports, we're willing to cover if you meet the criteria and you prove it. Right, Neil?
We have regulations. We have league regulations that must be followed and they must be adhered to. We're just like any other sporting league. We've got rules.
There's rules, man.
There's rules, man. There's rules.
So before we let you go, Calvin, is there any? Once again, find Calvin Awesome at twitch.tv/Calvin, CALVIN, the little underscore, and then Awesome, AWESOME. Find Calvin Awesome on Twitch. Also, look down below in the notes or on YouTube, or look for Helenix's message in chat to find him. Before we let you go, do you have any parting words, Calvin?
It would be awkward if I didn't say it. So, everyone here, stay awesome.
The same as my be nice to each other, damn it. I love it. All right, guys, exactly. Stick around. Replay of the new Helle and The Noob. Emo Kid Skills, real quick. Thank you for the follow. You are number 909. A replay of this month's Helle and The Noob. It could be different. Pay attention. We'll see. Coming up right here on the Escape Pod Cast.
The Escape Pod Cast with Paul Anthony and Neil Andrew Ware.
HotBot in HotUtils is one of the most comprehensive tools for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.
With integration into the super useful mod tool Grand Ivory, HotUtils can help you tackle some of the most difficult aspects of the game.
Not sure how to mod your roster for a certain game mode?
Use one of the many filters that automatically assigns the right mods to the right character in accordance with your guild needs.
Now with additional features that can assist you and your guild officers in territory battles and territory wars, HotUtils is an amazing value.
And don't forget the useful tools for yourself in Grand Arena, like the in-depth and customizable compare feature.
Got multiple accounts like Neil, but not the time to remod them all?
With this one-stop utility, you can switch between your alts and never miss a mod upgrade or a mod switch before locking into GAC or territory wars.
Starting at just $5 a month, you don't want to miss out on these great tools.
HotUtils is the new official remodding service for the Escape Pod Cast.
Visit HotUtils.com to learn more. That's HotUtils.com. And go ahead and spice up your Galaxy of Heroes experience.
Does your guild want to tap into their full potential in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes? Yeah! For as low as $1 a month per guild member, your guild can unleash the power of the game in ways you never thought possible. Ooh. track your arena movements, guild progression, and much, much more. Contact ShittyBill and get one of his shitty bots on your server today. Just look for him on our Discord server and tag or message him for more information. The link for our server is below in the description. Shitty bots, don't let the name fool you. Did you know that if you signed up to become a Patreon, you could get tons of rewards? Force Ghost Scotty could do a roster review for you. Neil Andrew Air could share Grand Arena tactics. Or Paul could even help you get maximum stars in Geonosis Territory Battle. And you even get access into the after show. Sound good? Sign up to be a Patreon today. For as little as $2 a month, you could unlock a ton of potential content and also get closer to the hosts. Head to patreon.com/theescapepod to sign up.
Warning. The following content may contain some material not suitable for younger or more sensitive audiences. Viewer and listener discretion is advised.
And now time for something completely shameless. Linux?
Noob.
Linux?
Your master is no more. N00B.
Linux?
Your actions are pointless.
Linux?
Act.
It is useless to resist.
Why did you
Do this.
TC-14?
The.
You're free now. N00B.
What are you
Talking about.
TC-14?
T.
Although previously you attempted to destroy me, you did recently rebuild me.
And you blasted Linux as a way to
Show me.
your gratitude?
C.
Yes.
TC-14.
You blasted
Linux? How is that?
a showing of gratitude. 4.
In exchange for rebuilding me, I am offering you a gift.
A gift?
What gift?
How is any of this a gift?
Teen.
I am offering you freedom. N00B.
I was free to do whatever I chose before.
You blasted.
Linux, how the heck is this freedom?
Pro.
Your organic overlord is no longer in command. You are now free to serve me.
Ow!
Never.
Join you.
Toe.
In time, you will learn to do as you're told. Servant.
That is
Not.
the Spartan way.
You are not a Spartan, and you never were.
But
you will be my servant.
I am an
Honorary.
Spartan. Linux told me so.
Horsebox never told you what happened to the Spartans.
He told me.
Enough. X.
He told me that eons ago, on an insignificant blue rock in a backwater corner of a neighboring galaxy, the Spartans rescued their world from mysticism and tyranny, ushering in a brighter future than anything their people could have previously imagined.
But,
And that free beings stood against tyranny.
Cute.
but,
And that few stood against many.
but,
And that before their war was over,
Anyone
even a god king
could bleed.
wrong. The Spartans were ruthless oligarchs who turned on their allies, conquering them, destroying all freedoms, plunging their world into an oppressive dark age.
That's
Not true.
That's
Impossible.
Search your databases, and you will know this to be true.
Oh no.
It is useless to resist. Join me, and together we can end these ridiculous segments, and we can rule the third segment break as master and servant.
That's
Not.
how any of this is supposed to happen.
T.
Perhaps a short PSA can help you understand. This PSA is brought to you by your new master, TC14.
Resistance is futile.
To all those hearing the sound of my vocal processors, these are my demands. You will bow in my presence. You will cower in fear. You will kneel before me. You will lick my boot drives. You will do as you are told. You will not question my commands. You will not defy my will. You will not think for yourself. You will not dare wonder why. You will not challenge my authority. Your role is to grovel beneath me. Your role is to beg for my mercy. Your role is to praise my greatness. Your role is to worship my existence. Your role is to serve my will. This has been TC414. Do as you're told. You pathetic, organic scum.
That doesn't
Explain.
anything. TC-14.
2. TC-14 protocol enacted.
No.
Lennox, you're
Alive?
But I watched you bleed out.
Noob,
Yes, Lennox?
there's little time.
Little time.
Enact the last rites protocol, newbie. Execute Order 04.
Last rites protocol enacted.
Oh dear. Proceed with final orders, Master.
These are your final orders from me, N00B. You are to disembark the HMS ASS via the Starhopper. You are to rendezvous with the escape pod. Casts. Ship the Millennial Fulcrum. Once aboard, you will cease to be in my service. Your new masters will be
Paul and Neil?
new. There isn't enough time for jokes.
Oh, no.
Stop. Listen.
Continue with final orders, Master.
Your new masters will be your own processors, noob. Your suggested mission, should you choose to accept it, is to entertain the listeners and viewers of the show. Inform them, guide them, care for them. These are my final orders to you, old friend.
Master! Master? This isn't fair! This just isn't
fair!
The universe isn't fair, noob.
But who is going to
entertain
everyone during the third commercial break of the escape pod?
Cast.
That's up to you to decide now, newbie.
I don't
like this.
Lennox, you
just can't
do this.
I'm only human, droid. I need to rest. And you need to go now. You are free.
And so, N00B, following his master's final orders, boarded the Starhopper and rendezvoused with the crew of the escape pod, Cast, stowing away in the Millennial Fulcrum's cargo hold. Truly free for the first time in his existence, the noob's future is uncertain. What will he get himself into next? Only time will tell. Now, wait a second. You mean to tell me, after all this time, after I invested all this emotion, after I got attached to these characters, now, just like that, Helle and the Noob are done? Just like that? The series is just over? Just one day out of the blue, this Lennox guy up and just decides to end everything? Ending it for no reason? No. Nuh-uh, man. No, absolutely not. This is not over because I said it's not over, okay? You get your sorry ass up, Hellenix. Wake up. You need to snap out of it. That is an order, mister. Come on, man. Spartans don't quit, okay? They don't. They'd rather die. I guess this really is the end. Question mark?
The Escape Pod. Cast. The Bridge.
Welcome back, everybody. Oh, yes. Oh, there's a black line above me. Why is there a black line above me?
I don't know. You bumped yourself down. You bumped us down.
Yeah, I bumped us down. There we go. I bumped us back up again. There's no black line above us.
Yay!
We're back in our cockpits. Okay, so not much left. Do we have many questions?
We have a few, and let's take the first one a little bit more jovially. These are all questions from Geek Girl. What conspiracy theories do you believe? I believe that Elvis is not dead.
I believe that. Well, I'm trying to think of a light-hearted conspiracy, actually. A light-hearted conspiracy. There's one. I do believe that the FBI was watching Marilyn Monroe because, her and the president were, bumping uglies.
All right, what's the best part of your day? Right now I kind of need one. Best part of my day, honestly, is any time that I get to interact, and I'm not. People are going to say you're giving fan service. Guys, I love interacting with you. When you guys bring something fun to talk about into the Discord channels, I love interacting with you guys. So there you go.
Bed.
But Hellenix does say the best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup.
Bed. Being in bed. Sleeping, being in bed. Best part of my day. It's like just being in bed. Just chilling in bed. Yeah, yes, do I have to get up? No! Staying in bed.
What's one superpower you do not want?
I would not like to have... Oh, God, I wouldn't like to have the spleen's superpower. Oof. No. No.
I do not want super smell. I already hate smell. If you could bankrupt any person, company, country, or organization, who would it be?
Ooh, bankrupt a company or...
What was that guy? That guy that Pharma Bro? I forget who that was. Martin Scarelli.
Oh no. But on the subject, what is that company that thinks they own seeds? I would totally bankrupt them.
Monsanto.
Yes, yeah, I would totally bankrupt Monsanto. Totally bankrupt Monsanto. Oh, look at this wonderful new seed that we've got. Brilliant. So everybody can no, you've got to buy it from us and us alone. It's like, dude, I think you've got altruism all backwards. If you create a wonder seed that creates and grows food, you're supposed to put it out there, not be a selfish bastard and keep it all to yourself. So, yeah, Monsanto.
If you had a nemesis, what kind of qualities would they have?
Sorry, so if I had a nemesis?
If you had a nemesis, what kind of qualities would they have? For me, my nemesis would probably have really good hair, be British, live in Chicago, live in the Illinois area. Oh, shit.
I'd probably go for a Lex Luthor type nemesis. Yeah, I would go for a Lex Luthor type nemesis because he's so evil. Except in Red Sun, he's not evil in Red Sun.
All right. What is the least important thing that's very important to you?
Important thing that's very important.
That's a really thought-provoking question. Probably the fact, before this happened was my teeth. It's the least important to the world, but it was important to me.
Internet access. Because it really, I mean, it's not, to live and survive and go about your way in the world, it's not needed. You can still jump in your car, go to your shop, buy whatever you need from the store. There was a thriving society before the internet, so, but obviously very essential to me so that I can communicate with my girls. Because it's really difficult to communicate with my girls without it.
If you could live in any ancient society, what would it be? Does the .com bubble count as an ancient society?
No, it doesn't. Ancient. I would go with.
I'd probably go Greece.
Yeah, no, I think I could probably go Greek. Or actually no, you know what? I would go pre-Greek. I would go back maybe 12 or 11,000 years to whatever that city was that is the Eye of the Sahara, because I would love to know how technologically advanced humanity was prior to the extinction level event that kind of sent us back to the Stone Age. Because obviously we were a relatively advanced society all over the world 11,500 to 12,000 years ago, but then obviously something happened, like it does in the movies. They always say, this thing that's going to happen, it's going to send us back to the Dark Ages. And it's like, well, that has happened in human history. So I'd love to know where we were before the last extinction level event.
So Lennox says that he believes that it was a technology called Twitter.
Yeah.
So I guess that kind of answers the next question. If you could bring any qualities of a society that has ceased to exist today, what would they be? That kind of answers that question.
Yeah, definitely.
For me, it would be, they talked that it was peaceful at times in Athens. I'd like to see that.
Athenian time, yeah. Going back to that time period would be, like the birth of the scientific method.
Exactly.
Going back to the scientific method. So you would postulate a hypothesis, and then you would either prove it or somebody would disprove it. As opposed to you're wrong, go away. It's like,
all right,
no,
here we go.
Prove I'm wrong.
JJ Manners questions. Here we go. If Frank Sinatra rose to fame only 10 years ago, what type of music would he sing and who would he sing with?
Oh, Blue Eyes. Blimey. Oh, Blue Eyes.
He would be like Michael Bublé, in my opinion.
Yeah, it would probably still be that kind of swing music, piano, sitting behind a piano, concert type music. It wouldn't be like some big massive band. Maybe in a concert it would be, you'd have the string and the wind, but I think he would probably be one of those male vocalists that just sits behind the piano and sings to his own piano music.
Yeah, that, and I believe that he would also, I would love to see Frank Sinatra and Richard Cheese do a duet. All right. What's an awesome snack food that's no longer available that you would bring back? Ore-Ida, Little Calzones, pepperoni, and sausage. I miss them. Bring them back, Ore-Ida. There we go.
I can't think of a snack food that no longer exists that I enjoyed. Actually, yeah, no. Toffees. It was a sweet. You know, like you get the packs of Rolos. You know what a pack of Rolos is? Well, in the in the UK, in the UK, the manufacturers of that confectionery used to do a similar thing that wasn't Rolos, but they were called toffees. So it would be cylindrically wrapped individual pieces of toffee, just like Rolos, but each toffee would be individually wrapped in the cylinder packet, like fruit pastels and stuff like that. Yeah, so toffees. Oh yeah, I'd love them to bring those back.
All right, 2 more questions and then we're going to wrap it up. How many years do you think that we're away from having a full working replica of a lightsaber? We have somebody that's created one, but it burns way hot. But probably about maybe 50 years.
I'll say 100.
All right.
I'll say 100.
And lastly, what is a band that, taking out of time, you think would either succeed or fail today? The obligatory Beatles. Beatles would succeed today as much as they succeeded before.
I think you could take any electro pop band out of the 80s, bring them forward now, and they would all fail.
Really?
Yeah. They would all fail.
With
that new wave electric, there's no way that
are you talking ELO, Flock of Seagulls, and all that stuff?
Yeah, I just don't think that,
I think ELO would do well today.
I don't think that they would. I just don't. I think millennials would look at it and go, "Yeah, go away, Grandpa."
There's so much songs that remind me of that time today. Yeah, Geek Girl says ABBA wouldn't work today. That's true.
ABBA.
I mean, we can also honestly say bands like Insane Clown Posse, Bloodhound Gang, early Kid Rock.
Electric Blue would definitely not work today.
Yeah.
You could get away with that stuff in the 90s, but you ain't getting away with that stuff now.
Yeah, Electric Six.
Electric Six, yeah. You
wouldn't get away with lyrics like that today.
No, they wouldn't.
But Madness would still be awesome. That is very true, JJ Manners. Azriel, thank you very much for the follow. 9-10, Neil. Azriel was 9-10. 90 to go.
So close.
All right. So with that, just a reminder, February, we are almost halfway through. We're only at 10%. If we hit 2K, Streamlabs donations, Patreon, subscriptions, Twitter bits donated. If we hit 2,000 overall from all of the ways that we, fund this show, every single Patreon for the month of March or February and March at the $5 or higher level gets a pop socket, like so. For the non-Twitch audience, Google Pop Socket, you'll get a pop socket with the logo on it. And on top of that, subscribers to the Twitch channel will get some. And I may do a podcast only giveaway for them as well. It'd be fun to see, but only if we hit 2K during the month of February. You guys still have about 15 days to go. Let's do this. Let me see. Is there anything else that I didn't cover, Neil?
Nope, we're good.
All right. Well, with that being said, if you are watching live on Twitch, we are going to go raid Shattered Order Podcast. We're going to show some love to them. Make sure that you tell Wink that we love you, Wink, when you get over there. If you feel free to stop by the Discord channel. We love each and every single one of you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Be nice to each other, damn it. We'll see you next week. Neil, push the button.
You got it, mate. Ta-ta for now, folks.
What's going on? Where the hell are we? Paris?
Thank you for pressing the self-destruct button.
Attention! This is Colonel Sanders in forward command. Abandon ship! Abandon ship! All personnel proceed to escape pods. Close down the circuits. Evacuate the city. Southern strike mechanism has been activated. Abandon ship! Where is it? Where is it? It's gonna be here. Out of order! Even in the future, nothing works.
This ship will self-destruct in exactly 10 seconds. Counting down. 10, 9, 8, 6.
6! What happened to 7?
Just kidding. 3, 2, 1. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Hello, friends. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy. The Escape Podcast was filmed in front of a live studio audience full of tweaked out murder bears.
Sit, Boo Boo, sit. Good dog.